Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our Evs 2 session. Today, we are going to begin with our new lesson, and the lesson number is lesson number 10. Name of the lesson is Historic Period. In this video 1, we are going to cover part 1 and part 2. So, dear children, let us begin with our lesson 10, Historic Period, video 1, part 1. Well, my dear children, if you remember, we started with our Evs 2 topic with the introduction part of what is history. Now, what is history? So, history is nothing but a science, that is a branch of science that tells us about events or the actions or some of the happenings which have taken place in the past. Like our birth, and then we grow, and then we come to a particular age where we study and we move ahead in our life. So, today when we stand at this point of our age, like for example, today you all are in standard 5th. But if you look at your past, that is the time when you were born, say 10 years ago or 11 years ago, so that period is called as your past. Today you are in the school studying, that is your present, and when you grow up, you go to your college and you start working, that will be your future. So future helps to know about, or future helps to understand how your life has changed from the events which have taken place in the past. So history is the story about past and which help us to make our present and our future more comfortable and bright. Now, how we can study history or how we come to know about history? So we come to know about history according to 3 different forms. It can be through written material, it can be oral material, and it can be also with some materials. Like you can see on your screen, you have written materials like copper plates are there, books are there, scripts are there. Then materials like you have coins are there, pots are there, toys are there. And oral form like where you have folk songs, stories, all these can be counted to know about your past history. Not only that, we also studied that how from the old Stone Age, man started evolving, and there were many changes which were being brought, and all these changes along with the time, the evolution took place, and from the old Stone Age, man came to the time, to the period of New Stone Age, where he started learning new knowledge, new skills. He learned the art of agriculture, learned the art of cooking and preserving food. He learned the art of making clothes and protecting himself from the weather and the other environmental conditions. Slowly, man also started to know how to understand the signs and symbols and how to write. So, the inventions of script, invention of signs and symbols, discoveries of many things took place as time passed. So, with history, we can study many important things where traveling came in, transportation came in, people started to talk to each other, that is, there was words, verbal language came in, things started flourishing. So that period, that things which from the Stone Age till the New Stone Age started, we can take that period as a historic period. Okay, so now let us understand more in detail about the historic period and how all the things started changing and coming up. So today our first topic which we are going to cover is what, that is right from the ape till the man started walking, that is till Homo sapiens sapiens, okay, means till the man started walking. So this is the period of the evolution of mankind, and from this evolution of mankind, in our today's lesson, we are going to study 4 important topics. The first is what is culture, second is ancient civilization in river valleys, third ancient Riverian civilization, where we are going to study 4 important cities, that is Mesopotamia, Egypt, China and Harappa civilization, and last but not the least, sports and entertainment. Okay, so our first topic for our video 1 today is about what is culture. Okay, now let us understand more in detail about this. Now, as the historic period started, we have seen in the lesson 2 that written records are available in the form of inscriptions and manuscripts. So what are inscriptions? Inscriptions means writings or carvings which are done on stones or book. And what are manuscripts? Manuscript means handwritten script. Not only that, but there were many books and other historical things like signs and symbols which you can see in different languages. Egyptian, Chinese language, Indian, that is Indus script, then the Sumera languages. So there were different signs and symbols used in different languages. In all ancient civilizations, the art of writing was developed. They used fully developed script Why? With rise of ancient civilization, the new Stone Age came to an end and the historic period began. So the ancient civilization means the Egyptian civilization or the Harappa civilization, the Chinese civilization, Mesopotamia civilization. So these were the ancient civilizations. So with the end of the ancient civilization, the new Stone Age came to an end. The new Stone Age period means the Neolithic era, where during this new Stone Age, man began to settle down in one place. He started living in group. He started building his own houses. He started cultivating. So this came to an end, and from here began the historic period. So let us understand how does this historic period started. Now, to begin with, let us understand the first part, that is culture. Now, according to me, what is culture? The knowledge of various arts, skills and tradition inherited from generation to generation. Inherited means which are given from our forefathers to our parents and from our parents to us. So it is like passing from one generation to another generation. What is passing? The skills, the art, the knowledge, the talent, and the way of life founded on that knowledge, whatever we have, is described as culture. In simple language, if I want to just explain what is culture, you can see on your screen. Suppose in your family, your grandfather was a doctor. So he must be an Ayurvedic doctor or a homeopathic doctor. But because he was a doctor, he must have thought that my son, your father, would also become a doctor. So that medicinal line or that came from your grandfather to your father. Then from your father, maybe your father must think that my son should also become a doctor. And so that same line comes to you. So that is inherited or passed from one generation to another. So culture is a combination of all the things, that is language which is transferred, medical care, religion, child rearing methods, food, folk art, celebrations of different festivals, jokes, mannerism in what you are taught, all the good manners, bad manners, whatever you have, clothes and dressing style, your working schedule, what work. So all these are together known as your culture. Now, moving ahead, how does culture started affecting in this historic period, or how it started beginning? Now, humans and all other animals are dependent on their environment and nature for satisfying their needs. However, other animals do not cause any significant change in their surrounding. Like humans and animals, both are dependent on nature. Both have equal importance in the nature. One affects, it also affects the other part. So they are totally dependent on each other. Now what are the examples? For example, bears, they live in caves. That is what environment or nature has blessed them with. As monkeys live on trees. Humans were in old Stone Age. Humans used to live in cage also. Humans used to live on trees also. But as life process, changes were brought. Then man started building his own house because he started gaining more knowledge. He started utilizing his skills. He started inventing new things. So what happened? Humans started changing their natural characters according to the surrounding, and to some extent humans started building their own homes. So as you can see, from Stone Age, right from the caves, the development which took place is today to the modern house. Not only that, humans, normally what we do, Stone Age man used to eat raw food. He used to not cook whatever was available in the nature. Animals used to hunt, or fishing used to do, or roots and pulps or bulb whatever available. He used to eat it raw, kacha, right? But animals, they used to not do like that. Animals used to eat it raw the way it was available. But humans slowly, as they started learning, as fire was discovered, humans started roasting the food on the fire, or they started cooking the food by making use of various spices and flavors, and they gave a taste or a flavor to their food. So according to the changes, there were many changes which were brought in the processing of food stuff and also in the eating habit. Now because of this process of bringing many changes in many substances and in the manner change. Now man started learning new technique right from the Stone Age. He started where he was making stone tools, or he was making tools with the bones of the animal. He started learning when the age of Iron Age, that is Copper Age, Stone Age, Copper Age and Iron Age came. Man got the knowledge of making tools and implement by making use of various metals. So stone metals and another metals which were being developed, man started making use of these tools and implements by making the use of stones and other materials. Slowly, man got the idea to make pots. Okay, the clay, soft mud. He used to take the clay, he used to shape the clay, the potter's wheel, which was the biggest invention. So he started making pots, giving shape. So various pots and bricks were being made by making use of the clay. They were being baked and they were being used. Slowly, man started doing his business, marketism. He started selling. Artistic skills were being brought. Not only that, he learned how to make cloth. From cotton plant, he used to make the thread. The thread was being done. That thread was being turned into a yarn, and then slowly man started making cotton clothes and then woolen and other clothes which were made from other fibers. Now in short, according to the needs, the change, the form of material available in the nature, the need, the skills to do this, all these kept on changing. Man started thinking, he started planning, he started giving the shapes to the object, and he started actually putting efforts in his life. Now this was all where the traditions of thought, okay, the skills which were, and the artistic skill is special talent, that is the pots were made and they were being given various shapes and they were being painted, as you can see on the screen. So it passed from one generation to another generation. The traditions which were there, the practice which kept on carrying forward, which passed from one generation to another generation. Slowly to science and symbol, man also started speaking. Verbal words came out of his mouth. So there was improvement, enrichment was there, improvement was there. Man started sharing his thought, man started sharing his idea, he started giving his knowledge. So the knowledge of various arts, skills, traditions, culture, which started inherited, that is passing from one generation to another generation, which kept on passing, and on way the life was founded, came to be described as the culture. So what do we understand from this part? What is culture? So the components of the culture, in all we can say, culture means modification on the natural surrounding for our own comfort, processing of foodstuff, making tools and instruments, technology to transfer natural raw material into finished good, and the capacity to think and express ideas, leading to enrichment of language. With this, we come to the end of our video 1, part 1, and we will continue with our part 2.